Welcome to Carnegie Mellon Online. For more multimedia from Carnegie Mellon University, visit www.cmu.edu/multimedia.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Thomas Whitholt, and I'm a coordinator of student development here at the university. I am here to welcome you on behalf of the Division of Student Affairs to another great University Lecture Series lecture. This evening we have You Look Terrible, How Not to Dress for a Job Interview, presented by Deirdre Clemente. As a former fashion writer and a current Ph.D. candidate in history here at Carnegie Mellon, Deirdre combines practicality, intelligence, and humor into one great speaker whose talk I hope you will appreciate as much as I will. Please give me a warm welcome to Deirdre Clemente.
Again, a big welcome. I think it's really important that students turn out for lecture series like this to allow graduate students and faculty a chance to talk on something that doesn't have to do with world history or whatever they happen to be studying. So thanks so much for coming. As mentioned, my name is Deirdre Clemente. Today I'm going to talk about a topic that is incredibly important to every single person in this room. And no, I'm not talking about, the upcoming election or even the writer's strike, but I'm talking about a much more important issue than that, clothing. So I want to start off by mentioning that finding an outfit for a job interview is something that plagues everyone, even somebody like me who spent years working for the fashion industry. But it's particularly difficult for college students. And today I want to help you understand, number one, why college students struggle so much with making that transition from their casual wear to a more formal ensemble, as well as provide you with concrete examples of mistakes I've seen on this campus in particular of students and the sort of pitfalls that often befall students as they assemble their interview wardrobe. So what's the story with college students? Why is it that I see so many of you looking like homeless people going to a job interview? Well, number one, and I'm incredibly guilty of this, as any of you have seen me wandering around campus in my Princeton sweatpants. The university lifestyle is one that does not stress appearance, right? You're not going to fail chemistry because your professor doesn't like the outfit that you wore to class that day. Especially here at Carnegie Mellon, students are incredibly focused on their careers, they're career-driven, and so often we spend so much attention on making our resume look fabulous that we neglect our appearances. I don't envy the student today because you're entering a world of clothing and a workplace of clothing standards that is under radical redefinition. About 15 years ago, they came up with this idea of business casual, right? This business of business casual. And so often students will go to a workplace for a job interview and they'll look around and they'll see that, hey, everybody has on khakis, so I can wear khakis. Now there's one thing I want you to take home from this talk today, is that while the standards of the workplace have changed, the standards of what you wear to an interview have not. So you kind of have to earn the right to look like, to look messy and really comfortable and casual. In other words, you have to get the job first. Another huge problem with college students in dressing for a job interview is that, come on, guys. I taught world history here. It was so often I was handed an essay that was very obviously written the morning before it was due. And let me tell you something, I always knew what those essays were and when the person wrote them. It's very similar with outfits, right? If you know you have a job interview, the night before, come up with what you're going to wear. Put a little bit of effort into it. It will pay off. So why do clothes matter, right? Come on, Deirdre, shouldn't my resume speak for itself? I put all this time into studying for school. Shouldn't this be more important than what I wear? Well, clothes have a variety of necessity, serve a variety of purposes. Of course, we wear winter coats when it snows, right? I know that the guy who's walking up to my front porch isn't trying to rob me, although in my neighborhood he may be, isn't trying to rob me because he has on a postman's outfit, right? So he's delivering my mail. And of course, unless you want to get hauled off to jail, you have to wear clothes or you're going to get arrested, which I don't recommend. And of course, as many of the more creative dressers in the audience knows, clothing expresses our own individuality. Oh, pardon me, I forgot to put on this. Sorry, buddy. This thing here. All right, a speaker. Okay, all right. So clothing expresses our own individuality. And I think it's incredibly important for us to remember that what we wear silently broadcasts to everyone who sees us who we are and what we're about. And that's really why what you wear to a job interview is so incredibly important. Because before you hand them your resume, before you tell them about all the volunteer work you've done at Carnegie Mellon, they're going to look at you and say, hey, that guy has pizza sauce on his shirt. Okay? So clothing, of course, is the first and most important way to make a first impression. So before I get into the nitty-gritty of what so often is going wrong, I want to talk briefly a little bit about the history of the Collegian and the casual clothes that are associated with the college lifestyle. And this is, of course, my dissertation research. The title of my dissertation is From Snobs to Slobs, Collegiate Clothing and the Transformation of the American Wardrobe. And I focus on the years 1900 to 1960. And according to my research, collegians have long struggled to bridge the gap between casual and formal. In fact, they've been the defining force in popularizing much of the casual and comfortable clothes we wear today. From the beginning of the century, college students have been the focus of media attention, much like they are today, some of it good, most of it bad, but this media attention scrutinizes their behavior, their morality, and most certainly their clothing. Time and again, college students throughout the time period I studied, and certainly today, have been criticized for their sloppy way of dressing. Now, each generation that I study 60 years, has their own distinct sloppy way of dressing, and it changes as the years progress. For example, in 1915, people were still wearing suits to class, but they were constantly being criticized by the mainstream media because they loved to wear their golf outfits around campus, right? These guys would go play a game of golf and then head off and walk around campus, maybe go get a cup of coffee or something like that. And it drove the mainstream media crazy. Similarly, we're talking 1930, nobody was wearing suits to class anymore, but the old classic khaki and navy blue blazer was pretty much standard attire for men on college campuses. And of course, the media had to have something rotten to say about this casual way of dressing. And most of all, they were criticized for their saddle shoes. And the dirtier the saddle shoes, the more the college students liked them. Now, following the Second World War, the sloppy collegiate style was a source of constant comment. And what were the university officials most complaining about? You guessed it, jeans. And the university officials put out all of these elaborate codes, and we're talking every school from Princeton to Penn State would put out these elaborate codes of what you were allowed to wear, and jeans were always on the top of the list. You weren't allowed to wear jeans outside of the dorm, right? And sometimes you were only allowed to wear them in your dorm room. You weren't even allowed to go down the hall and answer the phone in your jeans. But much like most fashion trends, when you try to regulate them, they get completely out of control. So needless to say, the college students never gave up their jeans. And of course, the students continued to dress more and more casually, and then they graduated and they went into the outside world, and soon other Americans started following suit. Hence the evolution of casual clothing, all started on the college campus. So why college kids? Well, as many of you know, we live in a closed environment far away from moms and dads and far away from the prying eyes of the fashion system, right? It's within this world that we're able to create a collegiate look. And it sort of says who's in and who's out. And each of these generations had their own particular style. And a fundamental component of this collegiate style was sportswear. Sports were something that had developed throughout the first several decades of the century, and sportswear was a defining factor of how these guys dressed. I mentioned their knickers that they loved to wear around. Well, most people would have played a game of golf, gone into the showers, changed into their work clothes, and gone back to wearing their regular street clothes. Not the collegians. They just continued to wear their golf outfits. And so this line between what you wear on the basketball court and what you wear to go hang out with your friends at the malt shop became incredibly blurry. And that's one of the reasons these casual trends took on. And of course, fundamentally, there were more college students than ever before, meaning that, as we can see here from this figure, the number of college students between World War I and World War II grew fivefold. We're talking more people going to college, more people graduating, and more people taking these trends into their lives beyond college. So what's the legacy? Yeah, you guys don't wear knickers anymore. I get that. It's an unfortunate loss to the wardrobe. But, so what do we have left over from them? Of course, tons and tons of sportswear that you wear today can be attributed to the college students of the 1930s. Sweatpants and tennis shoes, for example. These were the days where you bought your gym uniform at the beginning of the year and you had to wear it to gym class. Flip-flops. Oh, you guys love your flip-flops. I'll be on that in a minute. And flip-flops actually were fundamentally popularized as dorm shoes. Of course, nobody wants to pick up a nasty toenail fungus. It's pretty bad. So you would wear these flip-flops into the shower. Now flip-flops are a part of everyday wear. And one of your favorite items of clothing are shorts. Again, popularized by the Collegian. In fact, the wearing of shorts was a major problem right before jeans. It happened in the late 1920s. And students were insistent on wearing their shorts. They loved them. They were very comfortable. They were called shorts for short pants, actually. And the students of Dartmouth were so committed in 1930 to their shorts that when the university said no more shorts at Dartmouth, they said, forget it, administration, we're wearing them year-round. And the head of the student council and a bunch of movers and shakers at Dartmouth insisted on wearing their shorts, and they wore them well into February. And of course, Dartmouth is in New England. They lasted until February, but the legacy of their protest lives on today. So the next time you wear your favorite shorts around campus in the middle of the winter, thank the boys at Dartmouth. So where does this leave you, right? It leaves you from a long line of sloppy dressers, and perhaps this generation of college students are the sloppiest dressers of them all. And not to be critical. And so what has now happened is that college students are left trying to navigate the choppy waters of appropriate yet casual wear to the office. And again, I want to stress that that when it comes to interview clothing, you always err on the side of formal. So today I'm going to just talk you briefly through some of the 7 deadly sins of dressing for a job interview that I've noticed on campus. First of all, this is an example of you got to think before you go, right? What kind of job are you going for? If you're going to work at a law office, you're going to wear a much more conservative outfit than you are if you're going to have a meeting with the editor of the city paper, right? 2 different kinds of environments. So think about where you're going and think about who it is that you're going to be meeting and customize your ensemble to that particular office. So again, law firms, banks, much more conservative than a place like an architecture firm or a magazine. They give you a little bit more room for creativity. Remember, don't get too creative. Show them you're a creative person once you get the job. Tech firms, which I know so many people in this room will be interviewing with for internships or jobs, they're, legendarily the worst dressers of them all. My brother works for a tech firm in Southern California, and he looks like a homeless man going to work every day, but I guess he makes a couple $1,000s a year, so it's really not that bad. But again, when you're going to the job interview, really turn it up a notch. And I can't say it enough times, always err on the side of formal. Sin number 2. People will say to me, and I'm sure there's people sitting in this audience that say, why do clothes matter, Deirdre? I mean, let's just, I worked so hard. My resume should speak for itself. And take my advice as somebody who sat on the other side of the interview desk. It's very difficult to let someone's resume speak for themselves when their Simpsons tie is like screaming at you. It's very distracting. So, what a lot of people don't understand is that particular garments call to mind particular qualities in a person. And even if the person that you're interviewing with isn't exactly the world's, most fashionable person, they don't work for Vogue magazine, and they themselves look like a schlub, right? They're still going to see what you have on and instantly make associations. For example, when I say to you, oh, he had on a bow tie, right? What do you think of? He's nerdy, he's conservative, right? Somebody like my dad. Which is true, because he does like bow ties. So it calls to mind instant associations that you really want to avoid. And here are some garments that are the biggest offenders in this category. Khakis. Okay. Khakis started after World War I. The soldiers wore them in World War I. They're meant to be very durable. They took them into the mainstream wardrobe, and through the 1920s, they became incredibly popular. Fine, if you're using an iron. The problem with khakis is that too often people buy khakis that are made of 100% cotton, right? They fade from sort of like a beige into an almost white, and when you're going to pair them with that ubiquitous white shirt you college students love to wear them with, it looks like you're walking around like a ghost, like you're dressed in all white. So the other problem with khakis is that you wear them too loose and you wear them without a belt. You must wear a belt with every single interview ensemble that you have. Nothing can go belt-free, gentlemen. So you have to keep your khakis well pressed, and that's why I recommend getting a pair that's not made out of 100% cotton, but maybe has a 15 or 20% polyester, or maybe some microfiber in it that's going to keep them looking nicer, longer, and looking a little bit more tailored. And of course, wear them up on your hips. That's where pants are supposed to go. So give it a try. It looks nice. And pleats, just a word on pleats, I'm not a big fan. It brings a lot of attention to your stomach. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I try to avoid people looking at my stomach. Anyway, of course, I'm 33, not 23. So second big garment that really irks me, and I often see problems with students, are shoes. You'll look at this and you'll say, hey, those aren't so bad. I'll probably wear those to a job interview. And I would say, no, you wouldn't, right? Look at the tread of this shoe. It looks like you should be hiking up a mountaintop or something in it. That zipper, all of those eyelets, this is a casual shoe, okay? Similarly, hiking boots, tennis shoes, the days of wearing high-top tennis shoes with your outfit to the prom, leave them in the past. How about sandals on men? I don't care if it's 1,000 degrees outside. Do not wear sandals to a job interview, gentlemen. Ladies, be careful with the sandals that you choose. Strappy sandals, they're difficult to handle and they're very distracting. If you're going to wear a sandal because you're going to a summer job interview, keep it simple. And again, I don't even know why I need to say this, because if you think you can wear a flip-flop to a job interview, you should probably just leave the lecture now. No flip-flops. I don't care if you stole them from Kimora Lee Simmons and they are studded with diamonds. Forget the flip-flop. Similarly, denim. There is a terrible trend out there, people, where people buy dark denim and they try to dress it up. It's dress-up denim. Denim was invented to dig rocks out of riverbeds. It is not made to wear to that's not the impression you want to be giving unless you're going to like a mining company job interview or something. So, and this includes jackets and jean skirts. Denim, the instant association with denim is, those are my work clothes. No matter how dark the denim is, leave it at home. Never, ever with denim. Similarly, looking too casual, you can look too dressy. Dangly earrings, club shoes, you look like you're going out to the club. Okay, no. Platforms, anything with it has, you know, if you can wear it to seduce someone, don't wear it to a job interview. Any kinds of shiny shirts or anything with a little bit of sequins, evening wear, save it for the evening. Sparkly eyeshadow, too much makeup, perfume that makes the person gag, nothing like that. So again, ladies, you know, keep it more conservative, and you know, these are just some common offenses for getting too dressy. Sin number 3, and this is really the reason that I'm giving the talk today. Last fall, I sat outside of the gym and during the job fair that was on campus, and I looked at what you guys were wearing. And I saw out of 20 people, I counted 20 people walking into the giant gymnasium filled with people going to try to, you know, eager faces and shiny new resumes. And out of 20 people that I counted, 15 of you had on black suits, right? Don't get me wrong. Everybody needs a black suit. They're a fundamental part of your wardrobe. But if you're going to go the black suit route, you really need to have something that jazzes it up a little bit. Because remember, this person's going to be looking at a job fair. They're going to be looking at 60 resumes that day. You're going to look like every other black-suited person that came through. Give them something to remember you by. Similarly, The old khakis and sports coat, they're great for prep school, guys. But you know what? If you're going to go that route, you know, try to find something that makes you stand out. White shirt, tan pants. White shirt, tan pants. Enough said. Okay, quick fixes. How to jazz up that black suit. This is really important. And this is really where you have a chance to, you know, show a little bit of your personality. Ladies, I love a sweater, a short sleeve, nice fitted sweater with a white belt and a tailored skirt. Can't go wrong with that. Definitely, if it's winter and you need to wear hose, and you need to wear hose in the winter, trust me. Try some textured hose, right? Maybe something ribbed or something with a little bit of a print to it to give your outfit a little bit of zing. And I'll tell you a story about a funky pin. I used to interview all the time when I was a fashion writer in New York City, and I used to wear this kind of ugly now in retrospect pin on my outfit. And I always got comments on it. The people would say, oh, that's a nice pin, that's a nice pin. And I'd say, you know, my grandmother gave me that pin for my 8th birthday because she just knew I loved it. And I love to wear it. I always think of her when I wear it. It's my good luck pin. It's my good luck pin. And you want to know what? I got it at the Goodwill. It wasn't from my grandma. But in the end, people remembered me for the pin, right? I stood out a little bit. Guys, please get beyond the white shirt and the light blue button-down collar shirt. You know, there's a range of colors out there. Explore them. Sweater vests. I have a weird sort of love of sweater vests, as my husband well knows. I always try to get him to wear them. And sweater vests are a great way to look a little bit different, but still have a conservative look to you. If it's a more sort of liberal place that you're going to for the job interview, try a sweater vest, a tie, and a really nice, crisp, well-fitted button-down collar. Or how about just a sweater with your suit and a button-down collar and a tie? You can work that look. Pocket squares, if you want to really jazz it up, match your pocket square to your tie. European, classy. And also, if you're insistent on wearing a sports coat, try a corduroy sports coat. It gets you out of that boring blue blazer, and it gives your outfit a little bit of texture. So guys, if you're wondering what the hell is Deirdre talking about, consider Henry, my fashion icon. Henry, of course, is Ugly Betty's boyfriend, but he also happens to be the best-dressed guy on television. Here we have him rocking that sweater with the suit look. We have him in 2 different kinds of sweater vests. Henry. And we also have down in the corner our old nemesis, Mark, who's rocking the tie with the matching pocket square. These guys look great. If you want some wardrobe inspiration, please look there. Ladies, don't look on Ugly Betty for fashion inspiration. Sin number 4, forgetting the fit, and this is probably the #1 problem with college students. And I really attributed that to college students are like vultures. They like scavenge other people's wardrobe. And when your dad says, hey, I have a suit, you want to wear it for your job interview? If your dad weighs 250 pounds and you weigh 120, the answer is no, Dad, no. So that's one of the problems. The second problem is when you spend 360 days in sweatpants, it's very difficult to put on a pair of pants that actually fit and not feel like you're like, oh, these are so restraining. So those are the 2 problems of why college students can't understand how to fit their clothes. Here are some basic rules. Guys, jackets, you must be able to actually button the jacket around your stomach. Sleeves should come to right after the break of your wrist, right? And from there, you should be able to see a little bit of your shirt cuff sticking out. So it has cuff from the jacket and a little bit of the cuff from the shirt. Shoulders should hang, the shoulders of your suit jacket should hang directly on your shoulders, right? And lay flat against your chest. Hems of your pants should actually touch the shoes. It's very distracting and terribly unattractive to have a bunch of fabric hanging out there at the bottom of your pants. Even if they're a pair of $250 pants, still, I don't need that extra fabric. So get your pants hemmed. In terms of shirts, I call it the bobblehead phenomenon, which is when guys will have a button-down collar shirt and it doesn't touch the skin of their neck, and it's like, I'm a bobblehead, I'm a bobblehead. It's very annoying, but it's not half as annoying as when I should launch a campus campaign against it. I call it the American fit, right? Which is when guys have button-down collar shirts and they hold their arms up like this, and there's all this flabby-dabby fabric here, right? It's like flabby, like wings or something. I don't understand why people make this, produce this cut of a shirt. So what you want to do is, especially if you're a thin guy, look for a shirt that has, it's called a slim fit. Calvin Klein makes one, Joffrey Bean makes one, Perry Ellis makes that one, and you can certainly have them. They're not expensive. They're sold at TJ Maxx. You can get them for like $15, $20. And the goal is to have clothes that actually fit you and flatter your body. So if you're a slim guy, go for a slim fit. Now, while guys dress too baggy, women dress too tight, right? Your skirts need to hover around the knee. None of these short Britney Spears style. We all know what happened to Britney. Do not follow anything she does, okay? So with shirts, ladies, you want to watch the cleavage. You don't want to have to get the job that way, trust me. And the other thing is that a big mistake young women make is that they wear tank tops or something that shows their arms. It's very distracting to a job interviewer when you're showing them so much skin, right? So you want to keep it a little bit more conservative. And if you do have a big bust and you're wearing an Oxford, don't have one of these shirts that it looks like they're looking to break free, right? Buttons need to sit flat along your chest. Dresses, be careful of wraparounds. I speak from experience with the New York subways. They only lead to disaster, right? Nothing too clingy. And again, even if it's the summer and you want to wear like a little sundress that you think is appropriate for the job interview, throw on a cardigan. Don't show off too much skin. Fundamental rule. Here's some terrible tops. The woman with the gray pants over on the side, she has all that extra fabric. I don't even need to say in the woman in the middle what all you can look at. You just are just like, hey, there they are. The woman on the end with the black bra and the white shirt, obviously she's not going to a job interview, thankfully. When in doubt, get your clothes tailored. Here's how much it costs, people. This is not a big investment. I see you spend $4 on coffee at Maggie Murph. Forego 2 cups of coffee and get your pants to fit. This sin... Seasonally inappropriate clothing. Anybody who knows me knows this is one of my fundamental problems with college students. Why you wear flip-flops in December? I don't know. But there's 2 facets of seasonally inappropriate clothing for the wardrobe, for the work wardrobe. Number 1 is not wearing, let's say not wearing an overcoat with your suit and it's like snowing outside. And the second aspect is again, certain clothes, certain fabrics and certain colors have certain connotations of seasons with them. So for example, I don't know if anyone's ever told you this, people, but velvet is a winter fabric. It should only be worn from November until the end of March. It's a winter fabric, as is wool. Fur, I hope you get that one. Any kind of tweed, which is like any kind of nubbly wool blazer for men, that's a winter blazer. Darker colors, like a big chunky pair of black boots that you love to wear to your job interview, keep them in the winter. That's not summer, as is not a big leather purse, for example. Not so great. Let's say you love yellow and you want to wear yellow to the job interview. In the winter, you'll wear a deep, rich mustard yellow. In the summer, you'll wear a pastel yellow. So again, lighter, airier colors for the summer. Any kind of print that has white in it, white is the predominant color, or pink butterflies and something like that, that's a summer print. Keep them to the summer. It looks really ridiculous to be rolling up in a summer shirt for a winter job interview. Similarly, linen is also associated with the summer. And cotton, while it is a year-round fabric, again, we're afraid of cotton. 100% cotton is not your friend. Avoid it. Common pitfalls, again, an overcoat, no overcoat with a suit, or perhaps wearing a parka or your sports coat with your suit. It's like you might as well wear tennis shoes. They're 2 different worlds. Get yourself a nice winter overcoat. If you can't get it, ask your grandmother. Grandmothers love to go shopping with you, right? They love, and they know tons of stuff about clothes. And often they'll pay for things. So keep that in mind as well. No hose. Ladies, this is a fundamental problem. You have to wear hose for fall and winter job interviews. It just looks gross if you don't. Sandals, be careful of it. Again, heavy or knitted accessories for a summer job interview. Now, this is what I think most of your dorm rooms must look like. And You know, all the sins that I've mentioned so far are forgivable. Maybe somebody never told you not to wear black shoes with a navy blue suit, which of course you should never do, or athletic socks with a nice suit, right? Maybe somebody never told you that. But I'm sure somebody told you that you need to shower before you go to a job interview and wash your hair and things like that. So remember that you're going for a total look, people, and any little thing can take you down. And again, this is where waiting to the last minute can really prove a disastrous mistake. Plan ahead. Top 10 sloppy slip-ups. Looking dirty, having your hair all down around your face. Pull your hair up, ladies. I'm sure you have a beautiful face. Pull your hair off your face. It looks very professional. Wrinkled clothes, stained clothes, untucked, or that terrible, you know how guys do this, they tuck things in, but then they do this blouse out thing? Tuck it in, tuck it in, tuck it in, and belt it. Worn out clothes, again, beware of cotton. No makeup, a little mascara never killed anybody, ladies, even the most feminists of us. Beat up shoes. If it's your favorite pair of shoes you wear every day, they're not for your job interview, okay? That means you wear them to the frat party. You don't wear them to try to get a job. Rolled up sleeves and an unbuttoned collar with a tie. Just say to your interviewer, yeah, whatever, dude. And that's not the impression that you want to be giving. Clothing maintenance is a particular issue of mine. Never use wire hangers. Never hang a suit on a wire hanger. In fact, don't even hang it on one of those plastic ones. Get a wooden hanger, right? They're not very expensive. Use a garment bag. The best case scenario is you put together your whole outfit, you put it in a garment bag, and you shove it into the back of your closet, and it's there when you need it, right? And it's staying out of all of the activities that go on in the college dorm room. Similarly, air out your clothes after they come back from the dry cleaners. They use all kind of chemicals that eat away at your fabric. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to take that shirt that just came back from the dry cleaners. You're going to rip off the plastic that they put it on. You're going to take that wire hanger. You're going to open up your dorm room and you're going to fling it out onto the quad, okay? Get rid of the wire hanger. Let the shirt air out, put it on a plastic hanger, and then put the plastic covering back on it and put it in your closet. Air out your clothes. It keeps them longer. Don't mix your interview wardrobe with your everyday wardrobe. And this is really one of the most fundamental points I want to have you guys take home. You really have to keep them separate because it keeps those interview clothes looking fresh and looking a lot more professional. Shoe polish. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but you put it on your shoes so they don't look scuffed. That was a joke. And of course, a sewing kit. You're an adult. Get a sewing kit. So at the last minute, if you do need to put a button on, you have something to do. Final one, real quick, that old backpack. And remember, little things speak volumes. And you can't get sentimental about your clothes, people. This is coming from the girl who has a basement full of suits she'll never wear again because they're size 8. But you can't get sentimental about what you wear to your job interview. And yeah, that's your favorite backpack. You've had it since the 9th grade. Well, let me tell you something. It looks like you've had it since the 9th grade. You really want to make sure that you're wearing things that look fresh and speak to the up-and-comer that you are. Alternatives to the hideous college backpack. Look at them all. They're beautiful. I mean, come on, people. Messenger bags. Don't put any protest pins or any kind of writing on it. Make sure you keep them fresh. You know, it just gives a more polished look. Other offenders, any kind of necklace that you wear all the time, and maybe it's like from senior week 5 years ago, take it off. Don't wear it to the interview. Your favorite pair of shoes again, some sort of funky, weird accessory that everybody on campus knows you for. Yeah, let that one go. Bart Simpson watches, Mickey Mouse watches. Like, how are they going to take you professional, as a professional person if you're wearing a Mickey Mouse watch? Too many rings, too many earrings. These are very distracting to job interviewers, so take them out. And of course, a word on tattoos and piercings. I know this is something a lot of people have. In generally, you're going to interview with somebody from a different generation. They don't understand the trend. So hey, keep it under wraps until you get the job. So take home points. Number 1, you're part of a long line of sloppy dressers, so embrace it while you're still in college, and feel free to wear your sweatpants every single day that you're not going to a job interview. And despite the role of more casual dress in the workplace, remember, you still have to dress formally for your job interviews. It really is incredibly important in making the kind of impression that you want to make. Looking good means being prepared. Spend the time the night before to figure out what you're going to wear, iron it up, things like that. Maintain a separate wardrobe for your interview wear, and make sure that it fits. Put the extra effort in. If you need help, ask someone. You have my email address. I know I'll probably regret saying that, but if it's not me, it's your mom or your sister or your brother who's really into clothes, somebody who can help you. Make sure it fits. Don't be afraid to add a dash of personality, but don't try to wow them over with your unique outfit, right? You can show them how unique you are once you have that job. And finally, if there's one thing I want you guys to remember, please buy an iron. So that wraps up my presentation. I had some very brave volunteers that I'm going to call up to the stage and ask them to, together we can give a little bit of critique, and then I'll take a couple questions. We'll wrap it up here in about 10 minutes. So first I'm going to call up Anna. Come on up, Anna. Give her a round of applause. She has some guts. She has some guts. All right, here we go. She's as cute as Christmas. I'm sure you can see. All right, here we have, what's our main issue with Anna? Black suit, okay? But the cool thing about Anna's suit is that it has a little bit of texture to it. I don't know if you can see it there, but it has a little bit of texture to the fabric. So it looks really nice. Any other thoughts on Anna? I'll tell you what one of my thoughts would be. Anybody out there? Her hair, she's beautiful. Pull that hair off your face. Pull it up in a bun and give yourself that really polished professional look. Anything else? What are we thinking about? How about that shirt? It's cotton. It's cotton. It looks like maybe she wore it to go to class earlier today, and she just put on the suit to dress it up a little bit. And again, I'd love to see Anna. Her shoes look cute. She has on hose. Yes. I'd love to see Anna with her hair pulled back and maybe, a shirt that was a little bit more crisp, a little bit more, fresh looking. And of course, maybe a nice pair of small earrings or a necklace or even a pin or something like that to give her a little bit of zing. But I think she looks pretty darn good, and I like the suit actually. All right, thanks, Anna, honey. All right, next, who else do I have in the audience? Doherty, bring it on up. Come on. Now, Jimmy will, of course, be going to some kind of a job interview at a law firm or someplace, so he's going to be calling for a much more conservative look. And again, we have to consider where we're going to get the job before we decide what we're going to wear. James. Here we go. All right. Okay, Jimmy, I don't know if you can see it. He has on a striped suit and a striped tie. How do we feel about that? Stripey. I'm striped. Okay, so that would be my first criticism of Jimmy. What else? What does he have going wrong, people? Too much cologne. My husband shouts from the back. Okay, next. You do not. Okay, yeah, just for me. I love it. He did that one just to get on my nerves. I'm sure a lot of these things he picked just to drive me crazy. White socks. I would fire him before I even hired him. Okay, how about, what else does he have? We see the big offender. The backpack. The legendary backpack, which I'm sure he brought purposely to annoy me because he knows my standards and he usually adheres to them. But again, beautiful suit, really nice fit. I'll make sure I pulled my cuffs down so you could see them at the end of the suit. I'll avoid wearing stripes with stripes, especially when the stripes are as prominent on the suit as his are and as prominent on the tie as his are. And, looks pretty good. It looks like he has something in his pocket there. I don't know if it's like a cell phone or something, but again, that cuts the line of the pants a little bit, so be careful of that. Okay, Jimmy, not too shabby, not too shabby. Anybody else before I take questions? Yeah, bring it on down. This is John. He looks pretty good, I have to say. Okay, let's see what he has going on here. Nice suit, a hideous tie, a nice suit. What do we have to say? What do we have to say to John? I like the suit, and it's a very nice fit. It is black, but, of course, he does have a colorful tie. You can say that about the tie, is it's colorful, right? What else do we have going, people? Shave. Good one. Jazz it up a little bit with a shave, unless you're trying to work that like member of the Lost cast look going on. Which, I mean, I've seen some of those members. Not too bad of a look. Casual shoes, I would say his shoes are slip-ons, and they look very much like they could go with a much more casual outfit than a suit. So I would certainly try a more formal shoe. And let me see, do you have a belt on? Yay! Okay, that's pretty good. So again, maybe a less Mr. Huxtable tie. You know, this isn't the Cosby Show. So a nicer pair of shoes and a good shave, but I'll say that suit is a definite keeper. Good work, and thanks for coming.